Hi there everyone. Today I'm going to be grilling a whole chicken, which is much easier than you would think, and it's a great alternative to roasting chicken. It's also very cheap to buy a whole chicken because you're not paying for any labor that they've done on their side. So I got this for 99 cents a pound, but on sale you can get it as cheap as 50 cents a pound I've seen. So very inexpensive way to feed your family. First you're going to want to rinse your chicken, pat it dry, and then you can either marinate it or use spices on it. I'm going to be using rosemary, thyme, fresh garlic, onion powder, salt, pepper, and I am going to rub it. I'm going to put some inside, and I'm also going to rub it all over the outside of the chicken. You can really use whatever spices you want here or that you like, and you can either rub it right on and place it on the grill, or you can rub the spices on and choose to let it sit for a little while if you prefer. So let me just get the other side of the chicken here. Okay, now we're going to be cooking this chicken over indirect heat, which means that if you're using coals, then you're going to want to place the coals off to one side of the grill and place the chicken on the other side. Or if you're using a gas grill, then just light the burners on one side and cook the chicken on the other side. So I'm just going to rinse my hands in here. The grill is going to be on high, and once you turn the oven or turn the grill on and let it sit for a little bit, you want to make sure you clean it with a steel brush just to make sure your grates are all clean. Then you're actually going to put a little olive oil on the grates. You can either use a silicone brush because that won't melt, or you can put some olive oil on a towel and use tongs to rub the towel over this. So you're going to place the chicken on the grill, breast side down first, and you're going to let it cook there for about 15 minutes, and then you're going to turn the chicken, and the whole thing's going to take about an hour to cook for a 3 to 4 pound chicken, and you're going to want to flip it every 15 minutes. The internal temperature should be about 165 degrees, or you can also, if you cut the thickest part of the chicken, the juice should run clear in it. So I'm going to let that sit for a little bit, and then we'll come back to it. Okay, so I checked the temperature of the chicken a little while ago, and it was at 165. This chicken actually had to cook for about an hour and 10 minutes, so it's good that you check to see if you have to leave it on at all. And when you're using a meat thermometer, make sure the end of the thermometer is not hitting the bone, because that's going to affect the reading of it. So now that the chicken is done, I'm just going to set it on this platter, and I'm going to let it rest a little so that it can absorb some of its natural juices before we cut into it. Just get this grill off. Okay, and while that's resting, I'm going to make a very simple coleslaw. Now, a lot of people think they don't like coleslaw, but it's really just the dressing that they don't like. Cabbage itself, you know, doesn't have a lot of flavor one way or the other, so it's really kind of what you add to it. And it is such a cheap meal because cabbage is so inexpensive. So I like to actually take my cabbage and slice it like this. It gives me bigger chunks, and it's so much quicker than grating it. So in here I have about 1 head of cabbage. I actually used half purple, half green, but you can just use all of one color if you want, and 1 carrot. And then I mix 2 of my favorite sauces together, which is blue cheese and wing sauce. It's a great combination. So I'm just going to pour that over the cabbage here. And if you want, you can do this a little bit ahead of time so that the flavors marinate a little bit better into the cabbage, but it's fine if you just do it right before you serve it. So now you're just going to mix it all together. And when you're all done with this meal, the whole thing is only going to cost you about $7 or $8 for everything. So it's so affordable, and it's very delicious. And I think people will be willing to give coleslaw another shot, knowing that there's wing sauce and blue cheese on it. So, and before you serve the chicken, you can cut it up or just serve it whole, and everything's ready to eat.